Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda appeared like the sun and the moon on the horizon of Gauda to dissipate the darkness of ignorance and thus wonderfully bestow benediction upon all. Just think about that. Bestowing benediction upon all. They opened a marketplace, actually, and their intention was to make sure that everybody in the world got Krishna consciousness. The great acharyas like Bhaktivinoda Thakur did the same thing. They thought about marketing, and marketing is a special skill. It means quantitative reasoning, it means qualitative reasoning. It means thinking deeply about how everybody can get your product. And that's what the great acharyas do. And that's what we should do also. And our greatest product is the holy name and the written holy name in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad-gita, and all the other books that Srila Prabhupada has given us, which are like containers that hold the transcendental sound vibration in the form of seeds that then go out into the world, spill out into people's minds and hearts, and then begin a revolution, a spiritual revolution, to revitalize the world. The first step in distributing a book is to use radar. When you hold up your hand and you say, "Hi," you'll notice that people will respond, and according to their response, you'll know if they're a ripe fruit or an unripe fruit. They'll show you. They'll smile, they'll frown, or they'll make no expression at all. The next step is to qualify. People don't know why you're approaching them. So it's good to ask a question first. For instance, I say, "I'm from San Francisco. Where are you from?" And when they answer, "I'm from Canada, I'm from Switzerland, I'm from Oakland," I say, "Perfect, I'll show you one too." And then I proceed to show them the book. It's good not to ask a yes or no question because the tendency for people is to say no. The next step is to trust the hand. I hand over the book and I trust that their hand will grab it. As I'm handing the book over, and in midair, before the book hits their hand, I say, "Books on yoga and meditation show you how to get free from stress." And just as I'm saying stress, the book touches their hand. Oftentimes people are thinking, maybe I don't want to take this, but the hand reaches out and takes it anyway, because that's what hands do. Hands grab. So trust the hand and make sure you let them have a visceral experience and take the book into their hand, because it makes a big difference. As soon as I hand over the book, I say, "You've heard of stress, right?" And most people say, "Yeah, I've heard of stress. I feel very stressed myself." And I say, "Really? You actually look spiritual. Your eyes look spiritual. What's your secret?" And when I ask them what their secret is, it's a very powerful question because it changes our relationship. And now I'm asking them for advice instead of being condescending and giving them advice that they should take this book. And as soon as they tell me what their secret is, some people say, "Oh, I do yoga." Some people say, "Well, I stay stress-free by smoking marijuana or drinking or something like this." "Oh, I could tell just by looking at you." I say, "Perfect, let me show you really quick." Now, I turn to the back cover and I show them Thoreau, Emerson, Gandhi, and I add Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Albert Einstein, the Beatles, Nelson Mandela, Tupac Shakur. I add some of the celebrities who have read the Bhagavad-gita. Next, I open the book and I say, "Can you read this?" And I show them the Sanskrit. 99.9% of the people say, "No, I can't read that." And I say, "Don't worry, I was just testing you. It's translated into English." Then I say, "It's been translated into English many times, and out of all the different translations, this has become very popular academically." And then I turn to the first page and I show them University of Southern California, Georgetown University, and there's a whole list of academies that have used the Bhagavad-gita as it is or have representatives that appreciate it. Next, I show them Changing Bodies right near the front of the picture series, and I say, "Look it, we start here and we end up here. We're just passing through. Where are you in all this?" And then they point out where they are on the timeline of their life. Next thing is, I show them the picture of the great sage, and they say, "Look, a self-realized person treats everyone with respect because he or she sees that there's a spirit within everyone's heart." Then I ask them another question. "You've heard of karma, right?" And they often say, "Yeah." I say, "What does it mean to you?" and they'll say something like, "What goes around comes around." And I use this opportunity to really step back and appreciate their answer by saying, "Whoa, I really like the way you put things. If more people in the world thought like you, it would be a better place to live." When you appreciate their answer, they feel very good about it, and they should, because they know about karma. So the next thing I ask them, what do they do professionally? And they'd say, for instance, "I'm an engineer." I say, "What kind of engineer are you?" They might say, "I'm a civil engineer." And then I'll show them the picture of the yogi who's just popped out of the top of his head, heading for the higher planetary systems. And I say, "Really, this guy used to be a civil engineer." So whatever occupation they tell me, I show them this picture and I say that this guy used to be that also. They laugh. At least 50% of the time they laugh, and the other 50% of the time they say, "Really?" And I say, "No, not really," and then they laugh. And just as they're laughing, I hand over the book and I say, "We don't sell it like in a bookstore. We only ask for a donation. We don't need the money. The reason we ask is it's an ancient tradition. When you give something in return for spiritual knowledge, it connects you to the previous teachers who have passed it down over many generations, and it allows you to enter deeply within the knowledge." And they're very happy to give a donation on that basis, which is the straight way to present why they should give a donation in return for the Bhagavad-gita. Sometimes people don't have money, and they say so, and they really want to keep the book. Often I'll ask them for something else. For instance, several times people have offered their cigarette lighters. I'll take it, because I can bring that home and use it to light the incense for the deities, and they get the benefit. Sometimes people give a banana or a grape or some apples. Fine, accept them, bring them home and offer them to the deities. And let people get advancement for offering something in return for spiritual knowledge. It's the thought that counts when they give. After people have exchanged something for the book, given some money or some other donation in kind, ask them to chant the Maha Mantra. And here's how I do it. I say, "Do you believe in the power of prayer?" And oftentimes people say, "Yes, I do." Or sometimes they say, "No, I don't." Then I say, "Perfect. I'll teach you a mantra." Whichever way, I take a card that has the Maha Mantra on it, I hand it over to them, and I say, "I'm going to teach you this mantra or prayer that's meant to wake up love for God within the heart, or which is meant to make you peaceful at heart. And it's a little hard to pronounce, so you can repeat after me, and then you'll know how to do it. Are you ready?" And as soon as I say, "Are you ready?" they say, "Yes." And I say, "Hare Krishna." And then they say, "Hare Krishna." And then I go through the whole mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And I compliment them for chanting the mantra. Some people hesitate when I ask them to chant the mantra, and they say, "I don't know, what's in this mantra anyway?" And I'll explain to them that they're beautiful names of God, and that these names of God are very rare, and by saying them, one actually makes a direct connection to the Supreme. And by doing that, the heart becomes purified, and then one becomes happy in life. I leave them with a card for the local temple community so they can get in touch. I also take their information, because oftentimes people would like to know more about what we're doing, and you can then connect them into the regular programs that we have that will facilitate them making more advancement. And finally, we give them prasadam. There's no earthly reason not to carry prasadam around with you and give it out to everybody you meet. It's so easy and fun, and it changes your whole life, and it changes their life too. So bring prasadam with you. You can bring something as simple as lollipops that you've offered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, on the altar even. Make sure they're of pure ingredients, and everybody around the world loves a lollipop.